Wait, go back to that last one. I want to see that again.
It's kind of
Whoa.
marvelly, isn't it?
Yeah, I gotta get my head the right size.
Gotta strike a pose.
There we go. That seems about right.
It's an album.
Ahmed's like enough with this silliness.
No more of this foolishness.
Stop that. Entirely too silly. All right. So then let's do requests only. We have, I don't know how to pronounce this author's name.
Yes, I know them well.
Hez Cajiao.
Cajiao?
Cajiao.
Cajiao.
Jez.
No, probably not. Is he in the audience? I think he's actually a fan of ours. So because I tagged him in the post. He may be here. I don't know. But that is right. Look at that cover. Yeah.
That is fucking excellent.
Looks like some Dark Souls shit right there.
It's jargon.
That is definitely Dark Souls energy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where is this script? Was this script sent to me?
It is
emailed.
Oh, it is in an email.
I have found it.
What is this?
Let's read through the description.
Beauty.
And see how we can fuck this thing up.
How is that? Is that what we're doing today? We're doing
Let's read the description and see if it deserves to be treated seriously or if it's just something that we wanna dick around with. We'll see. Okay. This is a scene from the arena fight. 12 representatives of the great houses are pitted against each other. Only the winner can travel to the Underverse. The characters in the sample are Captain Adrian West. Should be a gravelly British Lancashire accent. That's specific. See examples here. All right. He gave us a YouTube link to explore.
Video unavailable. This video is private.
Oh, the video is private, so we can't get that reference.
Which means we can do whatever we want.
Do you know Lancashire, Gary?
I think it's almost like a Lancashire accent. Sort of sound like this, but I can't imagine you want to sound like that.
I imagine we do want it to sound like that. What do you think? Can you be Captain Adrian West?
I can give it a go.
And use that one. We're gonna pretend that is a Lancashire accent.
What's the name of the town you're from? Gosh.
I'm listening to a video now of a dude.
Okay.
Well, I might be able to feed it through my audio. Let me try.
Lancashire.
Lancashire.
And so would you say you have a Lancashire?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, always been in Lancashire.
And why did you decide to come visit Richmond?
We've been here before, and it's just lovely around here.
It's very northern. Were you able to hear that?
Are there any Lancashire sayings or?
Just try to do this northern accent. Yay!
All right. The MC Jack is from the north of England. Okay. And has a rough accent closer to Scottish than anything else. If you want an example, look for any recordings of Geordie Shore and alter however you want. You should be deep voiced and generally sarcastic and grumpy. So this is the Geordie accent, right? Like this is right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Geordie Shore is like it's like a reality TV show,
right?
Geordie accent, sort of like that.
Yeah, like anyone know the video game reviewer Worth a Buy? That guy's awesome.
I do not.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Go check him out. Definitely a Geordie accent there.
Worth a buy.
Worth a buy. Let's read the words. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that definitely ain't me. I mean, if I'm going to be taking the MC, this is going to be ridiculous. Like, so if we're just going to be able to write off the idea of doing a serious read.
Okay. The announcer announcing the fight, think like a boxing announcer. All right. Can you do that, Justin?
I can do that. Right. I can do that.
Johan.
Can I be Johan, please?
Yes.
I'd really like to be Johan.
Dressing room attendant.
Oh yes, I was born for this.
Okay. Helena, female dressing room attendant. Any accent? Okay. So, all right. How about this?
Okay.
Do you want Adrian West or Jack, Gary?
Either or. Do you want to swap out between us, or just pick one?
How about you do Jack, because I feel like I can kind of do a northern accent, but you're probably going to be better at Geordie than I. You're going to be better at both of them than me.
Nah, I'll just do a standard northern accent because.
Okay. Well, we'll just be northerners.
I want to just do a quick check to see how long this one is. If it is over 1,500, 1,500 is our limit now, right?
Yes. It doesn't look like it. This looks like 5 pages.
I'm thinking that we should do a time limit if it is.
Okay.
So we'll start the clock and then try to squeeze it all in.
Okay.
What's our time?
All right. I'll be Captain Adrian West, so you can be the MC.
Gotcha.
Justin, you can be the announcer, and Johan.
Okay.
And you want to be Helena, Gary?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
This is 3,200 words.
Is it? Okay, so we'll only get about halfway through, but it's all right. How long do we have? What's our time limit?
What's our time, Maestro?
We're gonna speed read.
Shall we say
10 minutes?
10 minutes?
10 minutes, 1,500 words. That's we could do that.
Do we want Google to officially time it?
Yes, we do, and we need time points. We need okay.
Well, then it's gonna be Ahmed.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna just narrate from this is a scene just so that everyone can be updated on what the scene is. This is a scene from the arena fight. 12 representatives of the great houses are pitted against each other. Only the winner can travel to the Underverse. The hours passed slowly, but all too soon they returned, announcing that the first round would begin in 10 minutes. With them came a pair of officials who checked my blood to be sure. Uh-oh, this is the main character. You're the narrator, Gary.
Okay, I'll just pick up from you. The hours passed slowly, but all too soon they returned, announcing that the first round would begin in 10 minutes. With them came a pair of officials who checked to be sure I was who I was supposed to be. They also asked a series of questions from my background to any wishes for my remains if I fell in battle. They finished by reiterating the few rules, making sure I knew them. No attacking the noble booths, no magic in the corridors, and no use of healing potions in the arena. I gathered my gear when we were done and followed them out into the corridor. A detachment of guards in the black livery of the Baron waited for me. They formed up and led me through a series of short, bare-walled corridors until we stopped at a large portcullis. Bastard!
We hate portcullises! Oh,
West turned to me and gave me a quick grin. Who's West?
That would be Captain Adrian West. All right. Don't disappoint me now, lad. I've got money on you winning this.
He winked at me, clapped me on the shoulder and walked away. Turning back, I exited the corridor into an arena similar to the Roman Colosseum. It was circular, with enclosed areas built into the walls, one level up for our betters to watch from in comfort. I peered into one of the alcoves, and sure enough, the Baron sat there glowering at me. I made finger guns with my hands and pointed them at him, winking before turning my back on him. I wanted to do a lot more than just annoy him, but this wasn't the time. I examined the arena more carefully, noting that the sand was shallow enough to soak up blood, but not deep enough to bog you down, and there were various small walls dotted around the place. Finally, the punctuation, fuck it. There were sections of the walls that were flat, while others had spikes. Some of the stuff happened, all right. The entire area was maybe 100 feet across and 50 feet high, with the onlookers enclosed in clear glass that I knew was bulletproof. They wouldn't want to risk being injured during the festivities, after all. On either side of each booth were banners that hung in the air. I'd entered through the iron portcullis, which had closed after me, and there was another one on the far side of the arena that remained steadily closed. The Baron, I noted, had a hunting cat as his sigil. It looked vaguely like a panther, and it was all black, outlined in red with a black background. I shook my head at its crudity. Any halfway decent graphic designer could have done better. I'd have better one made once I killed him and took over. I paused at the idle thought, then shrugged. I'd kill him for a penny, never mind replacing him as Baron. Fuck it! I walked around the Shall we skip up to some dialogue?
Yeah, it looks like we've got lots of action going in the next page, so we could jump maybe to page 3 for dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cloak came undone, starting from there.
Let's do it.
The cloak came undone and his face was exposed for the first time since the fight began. It was a bloody ruin, and the angle his head sat at meant his neck was clearly broken. I'd won my first fight. I coughed and laid back, staring up at the ceiling and trying to calm my racing heart as a voice rang out across the arena.
My lords and ladies, we have a winner! House Sanguis wins and is through to the next round. House Orbis is defeated. The next bout will begin in 10 minutes.
I looked up the booth where the Baron sat and he raised his glass to me. The smug bastard actually looked proud. I hated him even more. I slowly got to my feet as 4 people entered and raced towards me. I grabbed my naginata but recognised the first 2 as my chamber attendants from earlier, and none of them were armed. The other 2 ran to my opponent's corpse, sobbing, and fell to their knees in the sand to check him over for signs of life. They didn't find any.
Yeah, my lords, you're amazing, yeah.
Johann, the male attendant, gushed at me, while the female was already stalking towards the other 2 on the ground and saying something.
I could be Helena.
I ignored their byplay and spoke to the man. Just let me get back to my room and this fucking thing out to me, I grunted, lightly touching the arrow with one hand.
Yeah, of course, my lord. This way. Helena will see to your spoils, never fear. I can have that wound taken care of in no time. Oh, you're amazing, so my lord, truly amazing. That way you baited him, ignoring every defense against the arrows. You must be the bravest of all the competitors, yeah.
No defense against the arrows. I didn't have any. Then I remembered the small walls dotted around the floor. Looking at them as I passed, I realised I could have run from one to another and covered at least half the fucking distance safely. Damn, I'm a fucking idiot, aren't I? I staggered along to my room, feeling exhausted and depressed. Once the adrenaline wore off, the knowledge that I just killed another man, a real human from my own world, not in a dream, came crashing down. I felt sick, I felt confused, I felt elated, and that made me feel sick all over again. Once inside my room, I left the surgeon, Johann, help me. I let him help me. He stripped my armour off and gently eased the arrow from my shoulder. When we looked at the wound, it was a mess. All the fighting and movement had allowed the sharp tip of the arrow to carve me up. Shit, man, can you stitch them? I asked, knowing that if I lost the use of that arm, I had no chance surviving the night, let alone keeping my ear attached.
Yeah, I can, my lord, but surely it would be better to heal them instead? Question marks?
Yes, confusedly, sorry about that. Heal it? How can you heal it? I asked, latching onto any hope like a drowning man.
Oh, with a healing potion or spell, my lord. I'm experienced with several basic healing spells, but using them now could mean I don't have enough manners to heal you fully later tonight. We have only 1 potions, yeah, but it is single use. So using it for minor injuries like this would be a waste? Question marks?
He stood waiting expectantly as I considered the options. No, if I don't have the use of that arm, I'll die anyway. Fuck it, heal me! I held my ear and tried not to think about how close the blade had come. There was no point saving the mana. If I was going to have a fight another round, I needed to be at peak condition. Johann lifted both hands to my shoulder and began to chant the words clearly, the accompanying gestures similar to those I'd learned from my own weak healing spell. Shit. They work on disease, don't they? What about cancer? I asked suddenly, a horrible suspicion in my mind.
Yeah, of course, my lord. Cancer is simple thing to rectify using healing spells. Provided it's not gone too far, it would be relatively cheap in terms of mana as well.
Yeah. Oh, good. Jeff, do you want to take over from narration, or it looks like you will get to say nothing?
Merely, as though it was such a simple minor detail, only of note because it allowed him to show his knowledge. Johann moved his hands, glowing with energy, across my wounds, healing them as he went and filling the air with inane chatter about his pride and his skills. So not only could the Baron have saved my mother if he wanted to, but it would have been simple for him. That rat bastard, I see... that rat bastard... fuck me!
Rat bastard!
Rat bastard! I see inwardly as Johann finished up his spell. I watched the wounds fill with the healthy muscle as impurities, sand and debris were pushed out as the skin knit together. Within a handful of seconds, it was healed with only a faint white line left to mark out its location.
My lord, is there something...
Stop it! No! I growled at him. I sat there fuming, trying to tamp my anger down as Johann tried to work out how he'd angered me. Oh, Jesus, this is so hard to do fast. Until his partner, Helena, returned. She came in with an armful of gear, dumping it on the bench next to me and curtsying. I looked it over and recognized the cloak my opponent had been wearing, as well as the rest of his gear. I stared at the blood seeping out of it, staining the bench next to it, and turned to her in shock to find her smiling wildly. Seriously, what's the actual fuck? Oh, no, that's you. No, that's me.
No, that's you.
That's me. Okay. Seriously, what the actual fuck? I asked her, gesturing at the gear. What is this? What? You stripped his body just in case I fancied a trophy? What is wrong with you people? The smile dropped from her face, and she spoke up quickly. But, my lord, these are your spoils. Some of it could serve you well. The bow is strong and grants an increase to your archery skill. The armor is unenchanted but strong, and his breastplate is intact in case your own is damaged. Lastly, his cloak was in the heirloom of his house, so must be powerful. I stared at her. Couldn't understand a word she fucking said in confusion before turning back to the pile of gear. She didn't see any issue with looting a guy I'd just killed. Logically, I suppose, neither should I. He certainly hadn't paused before trying to kill me. I checked through the gear, not seeing anything besides the occasional carved symbol in the wood on the bow to suggest it was special in any way. I touched the cloak, but it was drenched with his blood, and I could see bits of flesh in the hood. I backed away from it, refusing to touch it. Clean it all and put it aside for me, I muttered, trying to keep myself from being sick. I turned away and stripped off, walking down the steps and wading out into the small pool until I could submerge myself. I took a deep breath and sank to the bottom, sitting cross-legged and letting the world above recede from my mind. I concentrated on my heartbeats, surfacing only to catch my breath, breathe deeply again, and then sink to the bottom once more. When I eventually felt myself in control again, I slowly waded out. I'm starting to do the Irish melody, right? Climbed the steps and laid down on the table. Johan and Helena began to massage my skin. Oh, that was Scottish. Rubbing the aches and pains away until I fell asleep. Helena awoke me 2 hours later. No, what? Helena awoke me 2 hours later to tell me that the first round was over and the second would begin soon. That meant 6 people were dead, and I had to survive this round to get to the final. I felt different about things for some reason. More at peace with it. The assholes, that was another Irish one, right? The assholes,
more at peace with it.
The assholes I had faced had gone in there to kill me. I was a prisoner. I had decided to try to win this and go help my brother, but I could have refused. And I had no doubt the Baron would have locked me away and then thrown me into this arena without training and weapons. I had no choice, but the rest of them. What? I had no choice, but the rest of them. Okay.
But the rest of them. ...
Oh, but that's on ellipses. Okay. They wanted this. Fuck it. I'd take their heads and I'd go through the portal all right, but the joke would be on the Baron yet. I'd get him somehow, even if I just embarrassed him as thoroughly as possible before going through. I'd seen my notifications window flashing earlier, but I'd ignored it. Now seemed like the best time to check it, so I flexed a mental muscle and brought up the page before me.
Congratulations, you've killed a level 9 ranger. You receive 180 XP. Progress level 5 stands at 650 and at 227 fucking 100 EXP.
Solid choice.
I dismissed it, pleased to see that I was climbing steadily towards the next level. I'd hoped for more XP, maybe even a level, but hell, it was better than I would have gotten without the pearl. I dressed slowly, settling my gear into place and checking my weapons. Before I finished, I put my helmet on the table and told the servants to wait outside and not to disturb me until it was time. I walked back and forth in the small room, my nerves getting the best of me as I paced. I couldn't help running the fight over and over in my mind, trying to see other ways it could have gone. The truth of it was, I'd been damn lucky, and I threw myself down in the chair in one corner of the room. I heard paper crinkle and looked down in confusion, pulling a folded note from the side of the seat.
It seems you're not well liked by the Baron Sanguis. Perhaps neither house will be a better benefactor. If you wish to know more of Thomas's tale, then look to us.
I turned the paper over, finding a stylized bird in flight on the back. I'd seen the symbol on the banners that flanked one of the booths, I was sure, but there had been so many. On impulse, On impulse, I took the paper into my pocket. I didn't know who they were, but the last thing I wanted was the Baron knowing I was looking around. I sat for a few minutes after searching for any other notes and finding none, until a knock on the door jolted me from my musings. It's time, my lord! Helena called out as she opened the door. It was time for round 2.
Ooh, nice down.
That is a good exercise. I actually like started hitting it a little bit and then
just
going
pushing
back.
yourself at it.
Yeah.
Big round of applause. Getting through that.
Holy
I have a question. EXP. Do you say XP or EXP?
You're supposed to say EXP.
Oh, good, because I would have had a ton of corrections coming up if it was the case you're supposed to say XP. Oh!
Yeah, sometimes it's spelled XP.
Yeah, but you can say it that way. EXP, if you say it as XP, that's how you would say it.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, it really depends. Some authors, it either way is fine. I do XP on Alchemy, and some authors would prefer EXP, and it's just whatever. Bob the Fettit.
Yeah, all right. So that's it for our requests only. Thank you. Thank you, author name.
I want to try this. It's a Hez Cajiao. I think that's my guess.
That's like a ki. It's Cajiao.
Hez Cajiao.
Yeah, like you know how Tommy in the Power Rangers was like, "What's he?" or something like that.
He did do that, didn't he?
Multisyllabic ki.
But he definitely said "see."
Yeah, I remember that.
See, that would have sounded fine to me.